Hello. Good morning, everyone. It's 11 a.m. here in Central Florida, where I am streaming live from this morning for day 3 of the What to Eat for Your Body Weight Loss Challenge. Today is all about the Accelerator method, the results accelerator method. So if you are excited for that, let me know down below. And let me know if you got the email today for those of you who registered, because I don't know, there's something going on with my system where it's a little glitchy. I'm just actually going to check myself to see, because I signed up for it to make sure things are streaming in. Nope, it doesn't look like it went out. Yeah, I'll send it as a broadcast later on so they can get today's handout. Like literally when I hop off this live, I will send it as a broadcast to everyone who signed up for the challenge, because you're going to get today's handouts to further results accelerator method. So let's kind of do a review. Okay. So day 1 was all about why this challenge, what's going on. So this might be you. Let me grab my whiteboard here. So this might have been you in the past. So these are kind of common mistakes, which you don't know what you don't know, right? I've made every single one, all right? Common mistakes, all right? So mistake number 1, everyone does it, is dieting. And what I mean by dieting, I'm talking about counting your calories, okay? Here's the thing. You can count your calories, but what are those calories that you're eating? Are there foods that cause inflammation? Are there foods that your body doesn't tolerate as well? Is it lots of sugar? Is it lots of junky carbs? Are you getting the proper nutrition? Like, that's a mistake. And I've done it myself. And in fact, someone had commented on one of my TikToks yesterday about, well, all you need to do to lose weight is eat 300 to 500 less calories. And this person is in the dieting industry as an expert teaching other people, and then eat lots of protein. I said, but what calories are they eating? What foods are they eating? See, I come from a very functional medical perspective. A lot of diet experts out there, no shame or blame on them. They're only doing what they've been taught to do, what they've been programmed to do, which almost every single woman who's tried to lose weight has been programmed to do as well, myself included, was to count your calories. Why? Because that's what they said to do. Who is they? Who said to do that? Was it the medical community? Was it the Food and Drug Administration? Was it that food pyramid? I'm getting my soapbox because I'm very passionate about this, because what this has done is it caused you to fail, but you are not the failure. I'm here to tell you, you are not the failure. What you have been told and educated on as the truth is what has failed you. So mistakes is dieting, counting calories, because what's the calories you're eating, right? I have a client, God bless her, I love her so much. She's in her 60s, and one day she came to me. She's like, man, I'm feeling great. I'm losing weight. I'm like, you're looking really good. And she's like, I'm eating as if I'm eating like a 21-year-old boy. I was like, well, what do you mean by that? Because some 21-year-old young gentlemen, young men, they don't eat the best things, right? So I'm like, whoa, what are we talking about? And she's like, no, I'm eating lots of food, lots of volume of food, but it's the food that's for her body. She didn't count calories. In fact, she was probably like 2,000 calories a day based on what she was eating. But it was all really healthy foods and foods that her body thrives on, which one of the things she was limiting is one of the things I'm going to share with you today for the Accelerator method. So that's another mistake, right? So counting calories, dieting, hey, been there, done that. All right. Number 2 is we're not moving our body. Now, I'm not saying working out at the gym. I don't do that. I have a love-hate relationship with the gym, because by the time I get to the gym and do my workout and come back home and in traffic and all that, I just have at least a half hour, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how bad traffic is, that I could have been doing other things. That's just how I roll. I don't work out at the gym. However, I make sure I move my body every day. And so my clients don't necessarily work out at the gym, but they're moving their body in some way, shape, or form, walking, treadmill, rebounding. And I give you all kinds of ideas, because you got to do the best workout. You want to know what the best workout is? Really? You want the download? Let me know in the comments. The best workout is the one that you're going to do consistently. Also, you need to do the movement that's best for your body. I've mentioned multiple times, if you have like thyroid issues, Hashimoto's, you can't do the same workout that your trainer is telling you to do unless they understand Hashimoto's, because you're just going to cause your body to really be stressed out too much. If you have cortisol issues, you can't work out the same way someone without cortisol issues or adrenal issues can do. I'm going to put this up for you. So not moving your body. Number two, mistake number two, gotta move your body. Sedentary is the same as if you were smoking. You gotta move your body. All right. Number three, mistake most women tend to make. And they get kind of, I don't want to say laid back, but not. So mistake number three is, let me say, no rest. Let me change that. Boop. Not resting. No stress management. I get it, because we're busy people. Sorry if you can read my chicken scratch there. I've got nurse's handwriting. So number three is not rest, meaning you're not sleeping well. And no stress management. So you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, you're frustrated. Life happens. Life is always life in on us, right? There's not a day where life doesn't life on us, right? So mistake number three is you're not resting well. However, and your doctors will say, well, you need to sleep better. You need to get a better handle on your stress, but they never tell you how to do that, do they? I've never had doctors tell me to do that. In fact, I had a friend who was pregnant with her second child, and she suffered from migraines, and by her lifestyle, it was just a very stressful time of her life. She was in the ER quite often. Her doctor said, well, you need to rest and get rid of the stress in her life. And she's like, well, if you're pregnant, they understand bed rest, right? But they're like, well, how do I do that? How do I actually turn off the stress response? When let's be honest, there's some stressors in our life that we really can't get rid of, right? So not resting and no proper stress management, which is what we educate you with in my programs. Number four, hormone balance. I'm going to throw some hormones out here. Leptin, ghrelin. I think I spelled that right. It's early. Cortisol, human growth hormone. Okay. By the way, highly recommend take notes. That's how I roll. Okay. Hormone balance. We gotta balance these four specifically at any age of life, especially when we're hitting. I mean, we think of the female hormones like estrogen, progesterone, right? All of that, even testosterone. Ladies, if you're in menopause, testosterone can be out of whack. But these four are so essential before we even hit that time of our life, ladies. And they're so essential to not only losing weight, but keeping off. We got to balance these hormones. Leptin is our hunger satiating hormone. So if you feel like you're hungry all the time, potentially your leptin's out of whack. Not where it needs to be. Ghrelin is our hunger hormone. So your ghrelin might be high, your leptin might be low. And these impact those. Number four is impacted by 1, 2, and 3, by the way. Cortisol and human growth hormone. Okay, so that's mistake number four. We're not really balancing our hormone because you don't know what you don't know. Once again, you are not the failure. You just don't know what you don't know. This was me. I didn't, even as a nurse, I'm like, no one ever mentioned, even in the medical community, hey, your leptin and ghrelin might be out of whack. That's why you're hungry all the time. And it was like, hey, your human growth hormone, you're not releasing enough or producing enough, which, by the way, you really want human growth hormone for not only weight loss, but overall health. It helps you burn fat more efficiently. It's an anti-aging hormone. We really want human growth hormone. But if you're not properly managing your stress, the cortisol depletes it. If you're not sleeping, your body's not releasing it. All right. So sorry, I'm on my soapbox here, just because I'm very passionate about helping you get to your optimal healthy weight for your body. Because ladies, we have been sold a bill of goods by the dieting industry. And I scroll through social media and I see all the diet gurus and they're like, eat less, move more. You need a calorie deficit. You really need to work out. I'm like, no, you're doing really service. But once again, it's no shame or blame on them. They're just doing what they've been programmed to do, which is get in my soapbox, which is who is they, right? The medical community, the dieting industry, Food and Drug Administration, food pyramid, like it's all It all comes into play in one way, shape, or form. Number 5, mistake here. Highlight this, star it. No dieting programs or weight loss programs has ever addressed this one. All right, this is huge, which is why 95 to 98% of women who lose weight gain it back. Number 5 is huge. Not the right mindset. Sorry, I forgot right. My quick nursing handwriting there. Not the right mindset. What I mean by this, right? Not the right mindset. Mindset means you have every intention of sticking to plan, right? But something happens. There's something that goes on in our head, ladies. We know the self-talk. We know a lot of this comes down to our identity. A lot of this comes to relationships. It is huge. If we don't have the right mindset, the proper mindset, and diving deep into why do we gain the weight in the first place? Obviously, it can vary physiological. Maybe you had some babies. Maybe you're hit the perimenopause, menopause. But why the weight regain? You've lost the weight. Why are we regaining it back? What is the root cause? We got to dive deep. A lot of it is mindset. Why? Because you don't feel like you're worth it. You don't feel like you deserve it. You don't feel like you can do it. It's a struggle. You feel like it's selfish, right? And there's this kind of dichotomy. Sorry, I threw a big word at you. 2 realms, right? Body confidence, love yourself, love your body, weight loss. It doesn't have to be either or. In my program, we deal with both, because if you don't love yourself and if you don't love your body right now at the present weight, you're not going to do so when you lose the weight. That was me. I was at my lowest weight ever. I was rocking the bikini on the beach. But then anytime I looked at myself in the mirror, I'm like, ooh, my booty, ooh, my belly. Like, I was very critical. I got to work on that. And it was at the point where I was doing some unhealthy things, I saw myself rolling down that way in order to lose the weight, keep it off, right? One of it was exercising to excess. Not good. Not good. Causes stress on the body. So here are 4 common mistakes. Okay. Dieting, which means you're counting calories, which means you're not eating the food that's right for your body. This challenge is going to help you set a good foundation for number 1. Not moving your body, not proper resting. No, you don't have any proper stress management. Hormones are out of balance. These 4 specifically, other than estrogen, progesterone, not the right mindset. Huge, because that was me. I didn't have the right mindset. I didn't feel like, can be honest with you, I'm going to be 100. I didn't love myself. Didn't love my body. Very critical. So it makes sense that when I lost the weight, I never gained it back. Because if I was unlovable, because I had that thought, and I'm at my lowest weight, then potentially it's me that's the problem. These are my thoughts that I had. Whereas if I was overweight, I can blame it on the weight. Can anyone resonate with this one? I have a lot of clients, a lot of women who it's a body in protector mode. We're putting the weight back on a subconscious level. We are not consciously thinking these thoughts. It's very on the subconscious level. And our actions prove to our subconscious that we don't deserve it, that we need to put the weight on to protect ourselves. It comes down to past trauma as well. I was sexually molested at the age of 3. My voice was silenced at the age of 12 when I had mentioned it to family members and to friends. Don't talk about that. Later on in my adulthood, I realized that they were just trying to protect the family because very young people in my family trying to maintain the home. Completely understand that. No judgment or shame on them whatsoever. But I brought that into my adulthood. I brought that trauma into my adulthood. I was trying to protect myself. Because of that past betrayal, I vetted to be a friend of mine in my inner circle. Took a lot of time because back in my mind is someone's going to betray me. So with the weight, this is deep inner work, by the way. With the weight gain, it was a protective, literally a physical barrier. Do not get close to me because you're probably going to betray me. So when I was really working on my mindset and making those connections, now we've got a healthier, better understanding and a better foundation to reprogram those thoughts, that are on the subconscious level. And then the actions that follow that is proving the subconscious mind that yes, I am worthy, I am loved, I am accepted, I am safe. Does that resonate with anyone? Does that resonate with you? Yeah. Mindset is crucial. Let me know if you've ever been on a diet that addressed your mindset when it came to past trauma, when it came to what's going on in your life, when it came to weight as a protective mechanism. Weight is protective, yes. It can definitely protect us, prevent us from being in hormonal crisis. Body will produce fat to produce hormones to prevent a hormonal crisis. Body is protective when it comes to toxins and chemicals. Body will produce more fat to protect you from the toxins and chemicals. Fat, we're literally like, we got toxins and chemicals in our fat cells. The more toxic, more chemicals we consume, whether it be your food or water or shampoo or conditioner, unless you live in a bubble, you really can't get rid of toxins and chemicals. Well, fat is a protective mechanism. Liver is way too busy filtering out other things. And if it's in our bloodstream, we're going to be really, really sick. So toxins and chemicals are also addressed in proper nourishment. This is a foundation. It's going to help you get there with those lower inflammatory type foods that we're going to be figuring out for you. And then I have a program that we really dive deep and we deal with toxins and chemicals and really nailing down what your eating plan is. So did a lot. Shake it out if that impacted you. Like shake it out if you're feeling some negative vibes. Just literally shake it out. You are not a failure. You've been sold a bill of goods by a dieting industry. I'm here to tell you it is possible. You can do it. You are worthy. You deserve to put yourself higher on your list of priorities. It is not selfish. It is selfish not to. You cannot serve. You cannot let your voice be heard in the community in this world. You cannot help your family and be the person in your family that you are if you're not healthy. You deserve a healthy and fit body, which is not a number on the scale and is not a size of clothing. I was down to almost a size 0, was not healthy. I'm at a bigger size. I'm like probably 6'8", something like. I'm having around 8 right now. I'll be honest with you, I'm 100 with everyone. I'm at the healthiest weight I have ever been. Why? Because my inflammation's lowered, my blood sugar is stable, my labs all prove it. I've dealt with food issues and histamine intolerance. I haven't had a migraine for coming on a year now. And a healthy stuff, but I'm at a higher weight. Why? It's because when we really eat for our body, we replace the fat. Fat's fluffy, which is why when we start to gain fat, it's very difficult to get into our genes, right? But also protein, muscle's leaner. So as we exchange the fat for muscle, 5 pounds of fat and 5 pounds of muscle look completely different. The number on the scale might not budge, but yet your clothes are looser, right? Potentially you're exchanging fat for muscle. Another reason for that is because you could be losing muscle, which any diet you do, you're going to lose muscle, which is no bueno. It's no good. All right. So all that to say, 5 common mistakes that most women make, which is why in my program we deal with every single one of them. The main one being mindset. Because I can teach you to do all the things, I can tell you to follow through, but if you don't have that mindset, you're not going to follow through. You're going to fall by the wayside. You're going to get discouraged, and you're going to say, here's another program that I failed at. That's why mindset is so crucial and so essential. I had a client that I spoke to pretty recently who said, I have so much more energy. I'm so much more aware of my thoughts than I've ever been before. And she catches herself before she goes to a food that is not optimal for her. It's all about her thoughts, more awareness. That's what we create in this program. All right, so the results accelerator method. Boop, boop. Once again, if you didn't get the email, there's something going on with my system. I will send it as soon as I'm off this live. So let me know what you think so far, whether you're watching live or the replay. Does any of this resonate with you? I want to know because I'm here to serve you and I'm here to help you. I'm so very passionate about getting through the lies of the dieting industry and helping you to be the best version of yourself that you were created and designed to be so that you can live the life of your dreams, start thriving, and stop surviving. You deserve it. You get to have it. All right, so the results accelerator method. Let's talk about sugar. Ba-da-da-bum-bum-bum. Oh, honey, honey. Sugar. All right. Sugar, all kinds of sugar, white sugar, brown sugar, agave nectar, turbinado, dehydrate, invert, dextrose. There's all kinds of names of sugar. So we have to be mindful of sugar. Sugar is an inflammatory type food. Inflammation, no good. When you hear the word inflammation, think fire. Fire, yes, fire. It actually has the word flame, hence inflammation. I can't make fire. Okay. Here is my stick figure. I'm not the best. My sister-in-law's the graphic artist, not me. That's not my wheelhouse. All right, yeah, that's my fire. I'm very poor. That's supposed to be fire, by the way. You can see that. Inflammation, think fire. Body is inflamed. Sugar causes inflammation. Now, we mostly know that, hey, when we eat lots of sugar, not good, we gain weight. But underlying is the inflammation component, which is detrimental to our health. I'm all about healthy, fit bodies, okay? So it's not just weight loss, it's being healthy and fit. We're exchanging fat for muscle. Inflammation, body's on fire. The body's natural way to kind of get rid of the fire is to produce more water, right? So if you ever went out drinking with your BFFs and you had some bachelorette party and the next day you're like, your face is kind of swollen, that's the water from the inflammation your body has produced to decrease the inflammation from the alcoholic beverages, right? Alcohol, most of it tends to be full of sugar, mixed drinks specifically. So inflammation, no bueno, right? Sugar, we really want to decrease our intake of sugar. Optimal. Even in my program I speak to, optimal, best, better. We are up leveling. We're no longer going good, better, best. We are going better, best, optimal because you are up leveling this week. So optimal, 25 grams or less of sugar a day. Optimal, which means our body does need sugar for fuel. Let's be honest. We need it. We need it for fuel, right? We need energy, right? However, 25 grams or less, let me make sure you can see it, is optimal. This is by the American Heart Association. Now, we mostly think of teaspoons, tablespoons, because we're in here in the States, we're not in the metric system, right? We're just kind of behind the times on that, right? So 25 grams actually comes to be 6 teaspoons. What? You shocked about that one? 6 teaspoons, right? 6 teaspoons. What the what? Let me tell you, I was way over that when I started calculating my sugar intake. Way over that, right? So that's optimal. We have to really cut back on our sugar because that is the number one way you're going to truly accelerate your results. However, there are some things to be mindful of when you are doing this. I'm going to give you some easy tips and tricks to do this right away. First off, anytime you have any desserts, anytime you have anything with sugar in it, specifically I'm talking about dessert-based things, candy bar. Let's be honest, we don't want to deprive ourselves. The easy way to really cut that in half is literally eat half of that, right? And so instead of eating back in the day, my Ben & Jerry's, my binge eating day, I would have 2 pints of Ben & Jerry's. BOGO was my friend, not so much, but I would buy a pint and get the BOGO. So I would get the other pint of Ben & Jerry's and I would eat like both of them in one night. So quick way to do that is just eat half, just eat 1 pint right now. So whatever you typically get normal size, right? For instance, 4 cookies was usually my go-to. I would eat 2 instead. A slice of pie, slice of cake, I would eat half instead and save that other half for later. Just simply save that other half. So that's an easy way to kind of really cut your amount in half. When you go for your coffees, let's be honest, a lot of us like Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. I like both, but different drinks from both of them, is to however many pumps that you get. By the way, let me tell you, I did not realize this. I was shocked that I didn't, to be honest. That when I get my iced coffee, they actually add sugar to it, even when I don't ask them to. The classic syrup, I never knew that. So that's a way you can actually decrease your sugar. Because I don't add sugar to my iced coffees, because if I get a flavored shot or swirl, depending on where I'm at, that has sugar in it. So I never add sugar to my coffee at all. So Starbucks, you can say no classic to your iced coffee and just ask them if that's classic in it because that's sugar right away. And then just focus on your pumps of flavor. You can simply decrease your pumps. Start by decreasing it by 1. So if you get 3 pumps, do 1 pump instead. These are ways to really, I'm all about being very practical, decrease your intake of sugar. Number 2 way, okay, is simply track. So in today's handouts, you're going to get a tracker. You kind of got it in the food journal, so you can use that, or you can use this other one that specifically is for sugar. And just simply calculate today and tomorrow how much sugar that you're eating, because we've really got to know where is your baseline, so to speak. I was way over. I was hitting like 100 grams of sugar a day, to be honest. I was binge eater, man. I was hitting probably 100 grams or more back in the day. Definitely more than 50, is I got to tell you. So no shame, no blame. We got and also look at as data and feedback, right? Because once they start to get emotional about it, like, oh, I'm so bad, I didn't realize it, then that downward spiral, especially if you haven't dealt with mindset, it's going to hit you. Don't do that. Look at it as data, okay? One way you can frame it is, hey, it might be 50 grams, but it's going to get better. It's getting better. I'm a work in progress. It's going to get down. Also, what tends to happen is we exchange sugar. Anything in red is not good, by the way, on my writing. This is no bueno. No bueno, no bueno. We usually, once again, it's my nurse handwriting. We usually switch sugar for artificial sweeteners. No good. I'm talking about sucralose, aspartame, saccharin, which is the blue packet, the yellow packet, the pink packet, right? And sucralose is starting to be in a lot of like lower calorie, 0 calorie type yogurts and things like that. Artificial sweeteners, research shows, once again, I'm in medical. I look at various things of research. I'm always constantly educating myself. Research shows that artificial sweeteners actually produce cravings and cause inflammation in the body. It's no good. I'll give you an example for myself. Once again, migraine sufferer. So there was a time in my life that I was really having more headaches versus migraines, right? So it was part of the Coke Zero that I had been drinking for such a long time. And I had gone off of diet soda because once again, when you diet, you switch to diet type foods and drinks. So I was on Coke Zero binge and I had been off of it for like 18 months. And then when I started drinking it again, because I wanted some caffeine other than coffee, and I thought, well, why not the diet soda? I was craving within 45 minutes, like literally planning to get to my sugar. So artificial sweeteners, no bueno. Don't do them. Here's what you can do instead, okay? Here's a way to switch out the sugar. These are what I recommend to my clients. Monk fruit and stevia, whole leaf, okay? Nothing with erythritol. These are going to really accelerate your results. Monk fruit or stevia, okay? So monk fruit and stevia, because it has to be sourced a certain way, can be a little bit more expensive. So to cut the price point, they cheapen it with putting cheap erythritol in it. Erythritol is a corn. Corn is the most genetically modified produce in the States. Very hard to find non-GMO corn. And so now we're causing what? More inflammation. Now we're causing more inflammation. Let me make inflammation red because, you know, as no bueno. Inflammation. So grains, corn specifically, because it's genetically modified, cause inflammation. Plus, it's a sugar alcohol, which causes a lot of GI issues from a lot of women. I'm talking about gasiness, even diarrhea. So you want monk fruit and stevia without erythritol. You just want it with stevia or monk fruit. Do not do Trivia. I know a lot of people do Trivia because it's like a stevia because it actually has dextrose in it. But by law, because it's less than 1% by volume, they don't need to put it on the labels. If you're diabetic and you've tried Trivia, you probably notice your blood sugar spiked as a result of it. Why? It's because it actually has sugar in it. So don't do Trivia. You want strictly monk fruit and stevia. A really good brand is the Now or Better brand. It's all organic, and organic is always non-GMO. It's literally monk fruit and stevia. They have liquid, plus they have some flavored ones too, which are really good. If you've not done monk fruit or stevia before, do 1 drop at a time because this is sweeter than sugar. So sometimes you can put too much in it and be way too sweet. So kind of play around with it. It took me, to be honest, it took me some time. I didn't like the taste of stevia until I did the liquid form. I didn't like the powder. It's too bitter with that. So I'm mostly a monk fruit person. I'll switch every now and again. All right, so sugar, less than 25 grams a day. You can cut your foods in half that typically have sugar in it. So for instance, if you get a venti at Starbucks, get a grande or a tall instead. If you get a large, get a medium or a small instead. If you do Dunkin' Donuts or any other type of coffee place, do 1 pump less of the sweetened flavorings. Ask them for no classic. If you go to Starbucks, Dunkin' doesn't do that. And then also cut the foods in half. Log so that you are aware what your present reality is. The goal is 6 teaspoons or 25 grams or less a day. Don't freak out if you're way over that. Switch. Do not do artificial sweeteners. If you are, ditch them and do monk fruit or stevia instead. These are 0 calorie. Okay, and really hit you there. So what's another results accelerator? I know I got a lot of information for you today. By the way, if you really want a great resource, and it's a movie too, by the way, documentary on sugar and its impact on the body, because sugar calories work differently on the body than your vegetables and your lean meat still and your healthy fats. It's called That Sugar Film, and it's free if you're an Amazon Prime member on Amazon. Dang it, it's not Marlon Spurlock. It's a different gentleman. He's from Australia. But he literally shows, he experiments with himself, how when we eat the traditional standard diets, he's in Australia, which their traditional, like standard, we would say standard American diet, the standard Australian diet is very similar to here in the States. So it's a really great comparison. When he switched out and ate the typical foods that most Australians eat, which is very similar to what most Americans eat, which is what medical community says to do when we're trying to eat healthy and lose weight, he actually gained fat. It's really great documentary. It really brings to point across that a calorie is not just the calorie. Sugar calories work differently, impact the body way differently than your healthy fats and your vegetables. By the way, part of his experiment was he had to keep up the same workout regimen. So that lets you know you cannot out-workout improper nourishment for your body. You just can't do it, because he kept up with the same workout routine, which is kind of like a CrossFit routine that he had, and he gained fat, lost muscle, and he was sick. Really good. It's called That Sugar Film. All right, results accelerator method. The number one way you can truly accelerate your results: get your sugar intake under control. Okay, don't forget, if you're over 25, I'm here to tell you you can do it. Small steps at a time. You are worth it. You can do it. If you have any questions, please list them below. I'm here to support you. Before I forget, so yesterday with the handout, which is what you're continuing to do, that 4-day energy experiment is going to lay a great foundation on how to learn what food is doing to your body by listening to your energy levels. So a question about no protein. To be honest, we really can't have a true no protein meal, because even fruit has some protein in it. So think of it more as a really low protein meal. All right. So because some people, I love it. They're like, I researched it and their fruit has some protein. I'm like, you're absolutely right on the back end, which is surprising, right? Because we're taught that fruits and vegetables have no protein. No, they do. They do, which is why I'm here from a functional optimal perspective, which is completely different than the medical and the dieting community. You've been sold a bill of goods. I'm here to support you, to get you on the right path, because you deserve to have a healthy and fit body, to have the energy that potentially you haven't had in years, to thrive and not survive. All right, so start working on that handout. If you haven't, post in the comment section down below or in the check-ins. Remember, the daily check-in post, you're going to simply share with us what you've learned, or yesterday's post is what day you're going to start implementing this 4-day energy experiment. Accountability is key. If you don't have accountability, 98% of people are not successful because they don't have accountability. So that's an accountability factor. When you tell me what day you're going to start that 4-day energy experiment, and because other people are going to be seeing that in the group. By the way, it's in the Healthy Weight Loss for the Busy Women Facebook group. I'm streaming live to my business page. So if you're not in the group, get in the group. So yeah, so it's accountable, right? Because people are going to be seeing that and you're like, OMG, I got to do it now because I just put it out there. Make yourself accountable, get some accountability on the books by doing that, and simply follow that. At the bottom of that handout, as I shared yesterday, there are some examples. Just simply follow that, or you can Pinterest or Google, like, what are some no protein options? Basically, it's very low protein options. So for those, thank you, Cheryl, I believe Cheryl, what Billy was. Thank you so much for pointing that out to me because I misspoke. I was dealing with a bad sinus headache because pollen is very high here in Florida. And I misspoke when I said like mac and cheese and lasagna for your no protein. So you can still have those meals, okay? You can use VioLife cheese. This is a ninja hack for you, okay? It's called VIO Life. It is a coconut-based vegan cheese, which has no protein in it. That is really good. I'm a former cheese addict, and I completely just went no cheese because even the vegan cheese that was out there, dairy-free cheese, oh my gosh, it's bad. So I opted to just not do cheese at all because other than nutritional yeast, which I could sprinkle on my pasta, there's no like real cheese slices that were dairy-free. VioLife came out, completely changed everything. By the way, if you have access to the Gouda, let me know. VioLife Gouda, it's normally in, even Walmart has it, by the way. So there you go. It's normally in where you would see organic, and then by the organic is basically like the vegan kind of area where it's more soy-based kind of things. It'll be in that area in the produce section. It's not going to be where your typical cheese is. So that's how you can find it. If you have Gouda, get it. I haven't had it because it's not in my area, but my clients have, and they said it is their absolute favorite out of all the cheeses. I like the cheddar cheese. I don't like their mozzarella, and I don't like their feta. So be mindful that you might not like every single cheese that's in the category. They also have a good dairy-free cream cheese as well. Because if you find from this experiment that dairy is no good for you, there are so many good dairy-free options nowadays compared to even like 5 years ago. I'm telling you, life has changed significantly. So if you want to do the mac and cheese and lasagna, use the VioLife cheese. Try it out. Give it a whirl, right? For your no protein meals, you can definitely do that. So by the way, thank you so much, Cheryl, for pointing that out to me. I misspoke yesterday. All right, so tomorrow is day 4 of the What to Eat for Your Body challenge, and we're going to be talking about crack the motivation code method. I had mentioned about mindset. This is going to help start you on that mindset journey to kind of start laying a better foundation for you, because mindset is so crucial. The longer I'm in this work, and I feel sad, I really do, to the core of my being, when women come to me, and I can definitely tell it's a mindset issue that is impacting their actions and impacting their results. Once we get the whole, you need to eat for your body and this, which is why every single coaching session, we do some mindset component, because we've been programmed to think certain thoughts. We think very quickly, and before we know it, we're grabbing for sugar. We're grabbing for foods that aren't in alignment that for our optimal health and wellness. It's because a thought has started, which led to a feeling, which led to an action. So it can take some time. Awareness is key. Remember I mentioned that client who said she feels so much better with her energy? She had more awareness. She's catching her thoughts before she has the action, so that she cannot take the action, which then in turn proves to the subconscious mind that what we're doing is what needs to be done. I taught a lot today. Let me know how it's laying with you. I try not to overwhelm by giving you value, huge value at the same time. By the way, completely forgot to tell you, I'll put this in the email as well. If you're liking what I'm laying out for you, and you're like, this is absolutely fabulous, I really want to work with you, just simply complete an application. I want to offer you a breakthrough session. Complete the application. If I can help you, I will reach out to you. Either me or someone on my team will reach out to you to set up a time that works best for both of us and get you onto my calendar. All right. Now, If one of my programs I feel like would be a really good benefit for you, with your permission, I will share that with you. But if not, I will still give you your next best steps, your next best steps, and get you started on at least one thing to start kind of working on and implementing your next best steps, which would be the priority for you to start working on. Remember, I had mentioned, I took them off. I had mentioned we're at nourishment, rest, movement, hormonal balance, and mindset. So I'll give you your next best steps, even if one of my programs is not a good fit for you, but you need to complete the application. I will post it in the comments below. StreamYard does not allow me to post within StreamYard into the Facebook group, but if you're watching on my Facebook page, I will send that to you. Just got to find the right one. Just simply fill out that application. We will review it. And then if we can help you, we'll give you next best steps. If I can't help you, then I will give you access to my free membership portal, which will have some videos, things like that you can watch at your leisure, just simply for filling out the application. So if anything, fill out the application to get access to that free membership portal. You can't get it unless you fill out the application. All right, so let me post that right now. Let me see if there's any questions before I do this. All right. Yeah, so if you're in my Healthy Weight Loss for the Busy Woman Facebook group, the Dietless Dieting group, I will post it in the comments to this video once I hop off. I just have to find the correct link because I'm not, there it is. Let me make sure this is the right one. Nope, it's the breakthrough session one. Ah, sorry, that's the wrong one. It's the breakthrough session one. All right, I'll post it later. I know time's precious. I don't want to keep you on here. All right, I will post it in the comments as soon as I get off this live. And I'll also resend the email because apparently it didn't go out. If it did, only a few people got it. So they can get the handout for today, which is all about sugar. Because sugar, if we can get sugar under control, oh my goodness, you will feel so much better and you will start dropping some weight because sugar causes inflammation, not only weight gain, but so it has blood sugar dysregulation, which I mentioned earlier. And then also you got the inflammation component to it, which causes weight gain as well. To your health, get to working on knowing what you need to eat for your body. You deserve it. You're worth it. You get to have it. Have a great day, everyone.